The Rams are getting set to head on the road to play in Lumen Field against the best team in football with the home field advantage, the number one defense on their side, and a team that's been absolutely dominant this season. It is crazy how fast the Seahawks team has been able to come together this year and really come into form, especially in the back half of the season, and the amount of blowout wins that they've had by halftime has been absolutely incredible. And we obviously know about the matchup that they just played against the 49ers in the playoffs. To get a dominant win like that against a divisional team, no matter how beat up they are, was impressive to say the least. There is a reason that the Rams and Seahawks have been in the conversation as the best teams in the NFL since about week 8 of the season. Now the two are going to face off for the right to move on to Super Bowl 60 in a game I'm absolutely excited for. But let's face it, this Seahawks team is really good. There's a reason they have the number one seed. There's a reason that they've gotten to the point that they have now. From a roster construction standpoint, from a coaching personnel, everything across the board is just phenomenal for the Seahawks. But there's a reason that this Rams team got here as well. And it almost felt destined for these two teams to face off once again. And look, I'll be honest, if the Rams lost to the Bears on Sunday, like it got pretty close to actually happening, I would have picked the Seahawks to win the Super Bowl. That is how confident I am in their team and how much they've built up that team, and they are rolling right now. But with the Seahawks drawing the Rams in a third matchup on the year, is it possible that the Rams can make Sam Darnold crumble again? Well, I want to start off with this. I think the worst matchup that the Seahawks could have pulled is the Los Angeles Rams. Out of this whole playoff slate, I think Los Angeles Rams were the worst matchup they could have pulled before the Super Bowl. It's not just because of the Sam Darnold and Los Angeles Rams narrative. It's a division team. It's, again, these two teams are the best teams in football. So if you're a Seahawks fan, you're probably not wanting to draw the Rams again, just be honest. But getting back into this Sam Darnold conversation with the Rams, we know the success that the LA Rams have had against Sam Darnold, especially if you look at the last three matchups that the Rams and Sam Darnold have played against each other. This includes the last two times the Rams have played against him as a Seahawk and the last time they played against him as a Viking in that playoff game. So obviously you guys don't have to be a genius to understand that these numbers are not great. And it's not just the numbers. If you watch these games, you can see that Sam Darnold looks like a completely different quarterback when he's playing the Rams than any other team really. Even in the most recent Thursday night football game that the Rams had against Sam Darnold, they made him look a lot worse than he typically looks. I mean, he had those two interceptions, one thrown right to Kobie Turner, and then they had one thrown to Josh Wallace, who almost took it back for a touchdown. You had sacks that Sam Darnold was taking, and he was just playing slower. If I were to put a finger on it, he was playing slower against this Rams defense than he typically does. He was having to think more, and that just seems to be a theme in these matchups. But hey, even as a Rams fan, I do have to acknowledge that the Rams made him go out there and win the game on Thursday Night Football, and he did. He put together that overtime drive when the Rams were bringing everything at him, and he did it. So it's not a question of, is Sam Darnold even competent to beat this Rams team? Because he did. While he didn't play his best game last time out, he went out there and he beat the Rams, and I acknowledge that. But there were still times that the Rams made him look vulnerable, and the Rams still are the worst matchup in my mind for Sam Darnold to have to play. And while he did prove it and have that game-winning drive, they still forced those mistakes upon him, and for about 3.5 quarters, the Rams were looking like they were set up for a victory. Now, obviously, you got to play the full game. That's what you have to do, and the Rams are going to have to do that again. But my point in all of this is, will the Rams have a good chance of making Sam Darnold crumble here on Sunday? Because that is something that, even as a Rams fan and having the bias that I do have being a Rams fan, that is one of the things that you can bank on against this Seahawks team, no matter how good they are, is the success that we've had against Sam Darnold. And I think that just speaks to how complete the Seahawks team is. There's really not a lot of areas to poke holes in, and that's what makes this matchup a little bit more scary than others, I guess, because you're having to put your hope in the fact that the Rams can make him make those mistakes. But even if you're a Seahawks fan or just a Sam Darnold fan, you have to admit that the history against the Rams should concern you at least a little bit with what the Rams have been able to do. Here's where I'm at with all this. Do I think that the Rams are going to be making Sam Darnold see ghosts by the end of this game? I don't. I don't think that he's going to be seeing ghosts, because really, I think it's a lazy, overblown narrative that has stuck with him since the time with the New York Jets, which was like, I don't even know, 7 years ago at this point. So I think it's lazy to say that he's going to be seeing ghosts again, because it has been a while since that has happened. Sam Darnold has gotten a lot better as a quarterback, a lot more competent. He's just learned a lot more, and he's in a much better situation than he was in the past. To even in that first matchup against the Rams, when he threw 4 interceptions, the Seahawks still almost won that game. So no, I don't think that Sam Darnold will be seeing ghosts. But here's where I'm at. When you look at last week, that was Sam Darnold's first ever playoff win in his NFL career, and that came against the 49ers. They won 41-6. If you didn't watch that game, you look at the score, you'd think that the Seahawks offense was just absolutely dominant, and to an extent they were, but it really wasn't on the arm of Sam Darnold, and it didn't need to be. The Seahawks defense was dominant. The special teams got a touchdown on the first play of the game, to where Sam Darnold only had to throw it 17 times in that game, but the running game for the Seahawks was dominant. The defense was dominant, special teams was dominant, and that just speaks speaks to how complete they are. And that's where I'm at with this Rams and Seahawks matchup here. If you have Sam Darnold go out there and only throw 17 passes in the game or 20 passes in this game, I feel a lot less confident that the Rams won that game, because it probably means that their defense was doing well and the run game was doing well yet again. So I think the Rams' best path to success against Sam Darnold, in a way they can make him crumble in a different way, not seeing ghosts, but make him make those mistakes to be able to have the Rams get out of here with a win. It's going to be stopping that run and force Sam Darnold to throw it 30 times, 40 times, force him to play keep up. So your offense is going to have to do well against the league's best defense, which they did on Thursday Night Football without their best weapon, Devontae Adams, and best lineman in Kevin Dotson. But even if the Rams offense isn't scoring 30 points in this game again, which I don't fully expect them to do, I kind of see them around more of that 24-point mark. Even if that were the case, I think that if you stop that run game of the Seahawks, you put it in Sam Darnold's hands 30 times, 40 times, whatever the case may be, where the run game isn't efficient enough for him to rely on that, and he's going to have to go out there and beat you. I think the Rams can get 1 or 2 turnovers in this game. He's not going to just completely flunk the game. I think the Rams can get 1 or 2 turnovers in this game, like they have in matchups past, and that's all you need to be able to go out there and win this game, I think. When you look at the last 2 matchups between the Rams and the Seahawks, I mean, it's been decided by 3 total points. The first matchup, the Rams won by 2 points. Seahawks won the last matchup by 1 point in overtime. So if you can get 1 or 2 turnovers in this game and play pretty complete on offense as well, I think that's really all you're going to need. You're not going to need Sam Darnold to completely crumble, but make him make those 1 or 2 mistakes, which you've shown you can do in the past. And the way you do that is forcing the game back on him. And look, if he goes out there and beats you, he just had a great day out there, and the Seahawks had a great game plan. But I feel much more confident if Sam Darnold is going to have to carry the load here than anything else, because while he did get his first playoff game win last week, and while he did beat the Rams last time out, I still think that he has to show a little bit more in the playoffs here, and he has an opportunity to do so. Obviously, he can't control the amount of pass attempts he has. He can only do what he can with the attempts that he gets. But I do think that history has shown us that the more that you give any quarterback, not even just Sam Darnold, the more you give them opportunities to throw the football, more attempts, that's more opportunities to take it away. And the Rams have had a great history of doing that. Even this year alone, Sam Darnold's had 14 interceptions on the Seahawks, and 6 of those came from the 2 matchups against the Rams. So there's clearly something here between these 2 teams. There's clearly something to take advantage of, but you're going to have to earn it. You're going to have to do it. And even if you get those turnovers on Darnold, the offense is still going to have to step up against the best defense in the NFL. Best offense versus best defense. You're going to have to go out there and earn it there, because I mentioned earlier, the Rams still got 4 interceptions in that first matchup against Darnold, and yet they still almost lost the game with a Jason Myers field goal that luckily ended up missing it. So you're still going to have to play well on offense, but I think your best path to success is making Sam Darnold throw it a lot. Make him do it against your defense that you've had great success against, and I think that's just, I guess, one of the few ways that you beat the Seahawks team. One of the few ways I can feel confident heading into this game, that if the Rams can stop that run, put it on him, I feel pretty good. But let me know if you're a Seahawks fan, Rams fan, or an NFL fan, do you think that the Rams are going to get out here with a win? Do you think that they're going to force Darnold to make these mistakes? Do you think I'm overreacting to any of this? Let me know in the comments down below. But if you like Rams content, please leave a like and subscribe. I make Rams content all the time. Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. Horns up and God bless.